they booted him.
Yeah. They booted that guy. Yeah, they kicked that guy out. They said we had it reserved.
Good for you. You got spunk.
Oh, honey, you have no idea. I don't know if you're like me. We've been here before.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm so pissed because I've been.
Director of NARAL Pro-Choice Minnesota. I'm here today because I am angry. I'm angry that anti-choice legislators across the country are introducing and passing extreme abortion bans. Bans that would send doctors to prison and follow through on Donald Trump's promise to enact some kind of punishment for women seeking abortion. I'm angry that for years and years, anti-choice politicians have been chipping away at abortion rights, pushing abortion care out of reach for so many, but especially for people who are struggling financially or who live in states where there's only one abortion clinic. I'm looking at you, North Dakota and South Dakota. And I'm angry that these bans aren't about health care. They are about undermining our autonomy and our ability to make decisions about our own bodies and our own futures. I wish I could tell you that Minnesota is immune from these attacks. And in so many ways, our state is a leader in health care. But when it comes to abortion, anti-choice legislators right here are trying to enforce their extremist beliefs on all of us.
Vote them out!
This session, every House Republican voted for a bill that would ban abortion before most women even know that they're pregnant.
Vote them out! 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 Vote them out!
A later abortion ban is still a part of the Minnesota Senate Health and Human Services Omnibus Bill. It's a ban that shows no regard for the testifiers who shared their heartbreaking stories of fetal abnormalities and their need for later abortion care. That ban sets an arbitrary limit on when a person can seek abortion care. It's a ban that would criminalize doctors for acting in the best interests of their patients. We are here today to say, not in Minnesota. We will stand up for people seeking abortion care. We will stand up for our 4 remaining abortion clinics. We will make sure that people have access to the health care that they want and need. We are so grateful for Governor Walz, Lieutenant Governor Flanagan, Speaker Hortman, and all of the pro-choice legislators who are with us today, who have taken a strong stand in the face of these attacks on reproductive freedom. With their leadership, abortion will remain safe and legal in Minnesota. It's my pleasure now to introduce Representative Liz Olson, Majority Whip. Since her election in 2016, Representative Olson has been one of the strongest voices in support of reproductive rights in the Capitol. like that there are legislators here that would do exactly what Alabama has done if we did not have a GFL pro-choice House majority. And if we did not have a governor and a lieutenant governor to have our backs. And we are not going to quietly be a pro-choice majority. We are going to be loud with all of you. It is up to us to say that we will never entertain the thought of allowing such terrible, restrictive policy to move forward in the state of Minnesota. I'm extremely grateful to be out here with all of you. This is a powerful force, and we will be loud, loud, loud. Thank you.
And I am proud to be the president of the Planned Parenthood Minnesota North Dakota. I am so glad to see all of you here today. And why are we here? We are here because our very lives are at stake. Because politicians in Washington and in states all across this country, including here in Minnesota, have made it very clear that they want us to go back to days that I am old enough to remember, and I can assure you we do not want to revisit. Never! To remember routine stories of septic wards that used to exist in every single hospital in Minnesota and across this country, where women who were dying from botched abortions were sent. And I am old enough to remember homes for unwed women in living in shame and hidden away from sight, enduring compulsory pregnancy. I remember how they were humiliated and the whispers about those girls in our neighborhood. And I remember a friend of mine, a 23-year-old mother of 4, who put her children to bed one night, locked herself in her bathroom, and all alone she inserted a catheter into her cervix to cause an abortion. She managed to survive, but she might not have, and her children might have found her body there the next day. And I remember my friend, the oldest child of 4, whose mother left them with their father, and all alone she went to Mexico, all by herself, not speaking the language, to have an abortion. My friend and her siblings being terrified that she would not come home. But it is 2019. And we're saying no. In the past 46 years, women's lives have changed so much for the better in so many ways, and we won't go back. I'm not just talking about abortion. I'm talking about birth control. And our jobs and our expectation to have an equal place at the table with men. This rally is beautiful, but it is just a start. We have so much work to do, and we will be at it all the way through 2020. single solitary elected official and anyone running for office, and you get them on record. Are you with us or are you against us? And you tweet, and you Instagram, and you talk to every single solitary person you know, and you let them know our lives are at stake. And you make sure everyone knows that Planned Parenthood is proud to provide abortion. We are proud to stand with women, and we will never back down. Thank you very much. Onward!
My name is Bethany, and I am here today because I am sick of being dehumanized. I am sick of my lived experiences being judged, and I am sick of my body and my choices being exploited so that extreme Republicans can gather votes and money. The reasons people have abortions are varied. There are no right or wrong reasons. We need to stop allowing lawmakers to sit in judgments of the reasons that we have for the choices that we make for ourselves, our bodies, and our families. Stop the bans, stop the harmful laws. I had an abortion in December of last year. My son was given a terminal diagnosis, and my husband and I were told that as he developed, his body would turn on him, likely causing his death in utero. If he made it to term, he would live hours, days at the most. We made the choice to end his life before his suffering grew. I had a second trimester abortion. My reason was to stop my very loved and very wanted son from suffering. His name was Robin. I am here as a grieving mother because extreme lawmakers would send my doctor to jail for 99 years. I am here fighting for my rights and my freedom and for everyone to have bodily autonomy. My message to the people pushing these laws is simple. Leave me alone. Leave all of us alone. Our reasons are none of your business. My grief is none of your business. I will show up and tell my story and stand up for my rights as many times as I have to, but it is not decent of you to force me to do so. I have been through enough. And to everyone else, fight. Stand up. Use your voice and share your story because there are more of us than there are of them. But if we don't stand up together, we will lose. I am here today sharing the worst thing that has ever happened to me. I am not okay. None of this is okay. Please stand up so that I know that I am not alone. So that I know that people in this country and in this state respect my rights to give respect for me and for my son. No one needs these laws to further complicate their options, their choices, or stories like mine, their grief. We all have our reasons, and we must protect the freedom to make our own choices. Abortion is healthcare. Healthcare is a human right, and we will fight to protect it.
My name is Maggie Whittorf, and I am the Executive Director of Women Winning. Anti-choice interests have significantly underestimated how far we will fight. One common thread among all these state legislatures, Alabama, Georgia, North Dakota, Iowa, and the Minnesota Senate, is that there are less than 20% pro-choice women represented. And when over 70% of Americans support Roe and choice, that math does not work. Women and people who bear children are our own best advocates. We must be in the halls of power. We must be taking these votes. And we must be leading, protecting, and advancing our own health care. This legislation is about our bodies, our lives, and our freedom. Showing up today is a first step. Volunteer, donate, support a pro-choice woman running for office. If you do not like what you see and what you feel, then run for office. If you are a pro-choice woman, Women Winning is here to support you. In these times, we no longer need to imagine or guess what could happen. We are actually living in them. Luckily, we are the antidote. 2018 was not a blip in the radar. Women running and winning office is our new path forward.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say, look at how much of us there are. We are people full of love, right? We are people full of compassion. We are on the right side. My name is Angelica Perez, and I'm here with Our Justice. Our Justice funds abortions for people seeking care in Minnesota. After years of pushing abortion care out of reach for people on the margins, especially for... We're going to have to pause here, folks.
This is from the original.
Looks like we're getting an okay. And this is a reminder not to engage with anybody that has a different belief from us today. As I said, we are the people of compassion and love, right? We are not going to let these folks and their politicians tell us what we can do. They have already pushed abortion care out of reach for poor women, for young people, for transgender people, for Black and Indigenous people of color. We will not let them ban abortion. We as women, as immigrants, as people of color, know what it's like to face impossible odds, but we are resilient. We have been fighting for ourselves and for each other for generations, and we will not back down. Today, we act in solidarity to ensure our neighbors in the South have access to safe abortion care, just as we continue to fight for Minnesotans who struggle to access care here and now. One of the most radical acts of economic and reproductive justice an individual can take is to fund abortion. So before you go to bed tonight, donate to funds in southern states like the Yellowhammer Fund in Alabama. Access Reproductive Care Southeast in Georgia. And support Our Justice and the Hot Dish Militia here in Minnesota. Together we can create dignity and respect to determine our own paths, and we say no more abortion bans.
National Council of Jewish Women in Minnesota. I am offended and I am afraid. I'm angry because our lawmakers are trying to ban and criminalize safe and normal health care for the 51% of Americans who have uteruses. Okay, we'll try the mic. We might be wringing our hands about Alabama and Georgia and Missouri, but right here in our House, some of our Minnesota lawmakers voted to criminalize abortion. I am offended. I'm offended because these same lawmakers are using my faith and my history to defend their hate-filled policies. My father was a Holocaust survivor, and comparing abortion to the Holocaust, as some of these lawmakers have done, dishonors the memory of my father and my family members and the 6 million living Jewish souls who because of their faith. There is nothing pro-life about that. These same lawmakers choose to misread the holy books of my people to defend their discrimination. Abortion is permitted by Jewish law. In Judaism, life begins at birth. Banning and criminalizing abortion is a violation of my religious freedom, and I am offended. I'm afraid that these attacks on our bodily autonomy and on our religious freedom will animate the hate and the discrimination that's facing Jews, Muslims, indigenous people, people of color, our trans and non-binary family, and anyone who doesn't control what they think it means to be American. Their policies are killing us. I'm angry, I'm offended, and I'm afraid, but my faith does not allow me to back down from fighting for justice, and it looks to me like this year's president.
We are talking about people. They are people. And that is why we are standing here today. We are standing in solidarity with the people who are affected by the abortion bans happening in other states. But we are also here to stand for these people because abortion bans have been introduced here in the state of Minnesota. Abortion bans of varying degrees have been introduced by Minnesota lawmakers, including an abortion ban very similar to Alabama's was introduced last year on March 15th. What is happening across our country is happening in our state, and it's time it stops. The Minnesota Supreme Court affirmed in a decision that Minnesotans not only have the right to an abortion as provided by our U.S. Constitution, we have the right to decide to have an abortion. The Minnesota Constitution provides broader protections than the U.S. Constitution, and that's why we are proud to be Minnesota. Despite the Supreme Court saying that in 1995, more than 300 anti-abortion bills have been introduced to oppress us, and we say no more. These laws are designed to shame and stigmatize people seeking abortion, to scare providers away from seeking abortion care or providing abortion care, and we say no more. In Minnesota, these bills have been introduced by a small group of people who think what they believe is more important than what we know. We know our bodies. We know our lives. We know what's best for our future. So to those people, we say no more. 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 No more.
Our fight doesn't end with this rally today. We have to do more. And here's how you can take action. You heard from Angelica of Our Justice, a local abortion fund that provides funding for women seeking abortion care. Hot Dish Militia in Duluth. Support your local abortion fund. Help women get access in Minnesota. Call Governor Walz. Thank him for being a strong supporter of abortion rights. Tell him to stand strong. Call your legislator. Tell them you oppose abortion bans. And volunteer to be a volunteer clinic escort to help people get safely to their appointments. We will have information and links on the event page about how you can take action and how you can get involved to make sure that Minnesota stays a strong state in support of abortion rights. Thank you. Thank you for coming today. And thank you for speaking out.
Vote them out! 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 Vote them out!
My name is Barbara Mahold. I am the president of our local chapter of NOW, National Organization for Women. We have been fighting for abortion rights since the 60s. And we are still fighting. I want to invite you to the National NOW Conference in Bloomington in July. Please come to the National NOW Conference in July. Liz Winstead will be the main speaker. You can get scholarships. Scholarships are available. Get them at mnnow.org. mnnow.org for scholarships to the National Organization for Women Conference here in July. Our work will not stop today. We must keep going. Please come to the conference in July. Thank you.